Storytime, kids. A young girl, leaning up against a cherry tree atop a hill, the gentle breeze swaying through the leaves. The aurora borealis reflects on the lake below. The girl, writing in her diary, gently letting her hand sway away as she writes. She closes her diary gently and looks at the aurora borealis on the lake below. Her beautiful chestnut-colored hair swaying in the gentle breeze. She looks up at the majestic stars above the wonders that are ahead of her. She stands up and takes her belongings with her as she follows the aurora borealis to guide her home. Through the calm, gentle night, through the cold snow, she makes it home and gets into bed, closes her tired eyes, and drifts off to sleep. The next night, she came back up the same beautiful hill, but instead of sitting under the cherry tree, she looks out into the distance. In the distance, there was a beautiful star, bigger than all the other ones. She closes her eyes and makes a wish. The aurora borealis appears once again, but this time, it leads her to a cave, with vines hanging from it, and flowers growing from the vines. She stepped into the cave, and as she entered, she knew it was magical. She kept on walking, further and further, until she appears on the other side, being welcomed by beautiful flowers, streams, and trees. The second she felt the gentle breeze, she knew where she belonged. As she kept walking, she noticed animals welcoming her too. Bunnies, deer, and birds. Vines on the trees, with flowers hanging from them. The young girl went through them and sat under the tree. She pulled out her diary once again, and as her hands swayed effortlessly across the page, she slowly drifted to sleep. She woke up to the sound of chirping from the rare, beautiful birds. She approached a small stream where she bathed. When she got out, the shimmering sun dried her off, and she kept walking, waiting for the secrets of the Enchanted Forest she had discovered to tell her. She walked and walked until she approached the stream again to wash her face. The young girl wrote all of this in her diary, knowing she would never forget it as long as she lived. No pain, no suffering, no tears. When she got up again, the birds guided her to a forest where she saw a rabbit. She reached into her pocket and held out some carrots. The rabbit took them and hopped off. The girl smiled and kept walking. When she was very tired, she lay under the forest trees. She wrote in her diary again, and thought her parents would worry. She picked up her belongings, and after a long walk, she finally reached the small hill with the cherry tree and the aurora borealis reflecting on the pond. She came back home to hop into bed and peacefully drift to sleep, where her dreams would always impress her. When she woke up, she put on her gown and tied her hair in a bun with chopsticks, and she walked to the same location she remembered the story her mother told her about the young girl who found a magical forest where she always felt happy. She came back there for 3 days, but at midnight on the third day, the portal closed up, and she could never visit it again. The young girl remembered the story and put food on her pockets for the young animals that lived in the magical forest. Again, she washed her face and bathed in the peaceful stream. She had one more day until it closed up. She never wanted to leave it. She returned home, watching the aurora borealis reflect on the pond at her cherry tree back home, with same gentle breeze flowing through the leaves. On the third day, when she entered, she looked at her home, because she would stay at the forest for longer. She walked through the magical cave and into the forest. She bonded with the special animals that lived there and fed them. She couldn't be happier. She danced under the moonlight with the aurora borealis shining over her. She pranced and danced. She thought to herself,
I can't leave.
but she had to for her parents, her friends, her one true home. So, as she walked through the forest, she wrote in her diary what a time she had, and she would never forget it. Closing her diary, she walked back out of the forest and then stared at it. She said goodbye to the trees, flowers, animals, and streams. She wanted to stay, but she knew that she would never forget the place and always remember it. She knew she had done the right thing to come back home. So, as she walked back to the cave, she looked at the beautiful, enchanted landscape once more before traveling through the cave. She looked back to see the cave entry close. She knew that she belonged to the lake, the night sky, her home, and the little cherry tree the breeze would gently flow through. The end.